Good day, my people, and welcome to Sit, Sip, and Chat. Now, let's continue the journey. Hello, my people, and welcome back to Sit, Sip, and Chat. Sit, Sip, and Chat is a show where we talk to different members in the community and find out what they have going on while we have a sip or two in between. And make sure you have yourself a sip while you're chatting with us. My name is Glenda York of GCY Initiative, and today, my guest that I have with me is Miss Sherika Ramsay Hunt, who is the newest author of Sis, You Got This, which is a book aimed at motivating you to be an awe-inspiring you with motivational poetry, affirmations, and activity. So guys, we're here with Miss Sherika Ramsay Hunt. How you doing?
Good.
You good? Mm-hmm. You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. Before we get into it, I'll give you guys a little bit about Sherika. She is a former student of the St. Martin Academy. Hey. And went right into work after finishing high school. Sherika had plans since as long as I've known her, she's had plans of doing things, of not being regulars, for lack of a better word. She had her life plan and she went straight into pursuing her goals. She's worked for DV Little Bay Resort. She's worked for student services within the education department. She's also worked for the Ministry of TIAT. And currently she is a social worker at the Mental Health Foundation. Social worker?
Clinical assistant.
And currently she is a clinical assistant at the Mental Health Foundation. And like I said, to add to all of that, she just published her first book in October of 2023.
Hi.
You've done a lot of things.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I just want you to acknowledge that. If you guys haven't picked up on it by now, Sherika is a friend of mine, and I'm kind of putting her on the spot right now because the people need to know that she has a book out there. So we're going to have a very calming conversation. But before we get into that conversation, we're going to talk about where we are. Guys, you can see the artwork behind of me, around me, and around us, I should say. Today we're at Axum Art Cafe. Axum is an art gallery and cultural venue situated on Front Street and serves as a non-commercial space in Great Bay. It's dedicated to the promotion of artistic and cultural activities. And if you're an artist of any sort, feel free to contact Axum, whether it's through social media or through WhatsApp. You can contact them through WhatsApp at +590-690-287626 or visit their website at axumartcafe.com. And they also have a film festival that is coming up in the month of February. So make sure, go on over to their social media, to their website, so you can have more information about that. And with that, Sherika, the focus shifts to you. You can have a sip.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, so the year was 1990-something. We finished academy, and what was your goals when you finished academy, when you finished high school?
Well, initially I started university right after.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for, I think, a year and a half. And then life changed. And I had to take a step back from attending school.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me about 10 years.
Before you came back?
For me to start back attending school again. And it was like 4 years of challenges, but I made it. I now have my bachelor's in social work with a minor in youth development.
Okay, so then when you initially started university, what was initially the goal? What were you studying, I should ask?
Education, to become a teacher.
Okay, well, why did you want to become a teacher?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I like kids. I do. I like kids, and I just like helping persons.
And then when you took the break and you came back, it went back straight into education, or then did it come back to social work?
No, then it came back to social work. Yeah.
What was the shift from teacher to social work?
That was because of where I worked at the time. That was at Student Support Services.
Mm-hmm.
And they provide services to students in primary school and high school in areas of learning, psychological assessment, social work, career guidance, counseling. So having worked around psychologists, social workers, it opened my thoughts or mind to go into that because I realized that education was not my path.
Okay.
You have to have a lot of patience.
Okay.
And I realized I don't have as much
As much as you thought.
Yeah, as I thought I had. And so at that time, I also felt like psychology would be a harder, more difficult path for me at that time because I had a son already and life was lifing. So to pack up and having to leave, that was more difficult. And the social worker could have done it online. So
okay, so then you went to the University of St. Martin.
No, I went to University of the West Indies.
Okay. Okay, and how was that experience? Because I know there are persons that want to go away but can't necessarily do that, so they choose to go like the University of the West Indies. And I think you have courses at USM. That's how that works, or is it
No, it's
online?
all online.
Okay.
You do have weekly sessions with your tutors, and so that helps. But a lot of the work is independent reading, independent research, but there is a lot of guidance.
Okay.
So it was really helpful. It's Caribbean based. So there's a lot of persons from different islands in the Caribbean. So of course you make new friends. And it's important that you do because every class is group work.
Okay.
So that helped. You also hear the challenges from other islands too. So you realize you're not alone.
Yeah. So that probably helps a lot in the relatability and helps to drive you also to finish, to get your assignments done. Okay, guys, that was a bit about Sherika. It wasn't so bad.
No.
Salud.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. You guys, we just took our sip. You can have a sip with us. When we come back, take a sip while we take this little break. And we'll be right back. We'll have more with Sherika.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là?
But sorry, no, sir. They got this game tonight and I can't miss it. Me and my boy, we gotta watch the game, you know? So I bringing this in. You check? All right, let me watch your leg. Watch your leg.
Sir, sorry. Why so difficult? Look, I'm watching TV here on my phone with the Tell TV Plus app. You really gotta upgrade.
Okay, so miss, tell me about the Tell TV Plus. I gotta hear about this.
Okay, so once you apply for Tell TV Plus,
Okay.
you can enjoy it anytime on the go.
Anytime.
Anytime.
On the go?
On the go, you simply download the app, log into your account at any time, sit back and enjoy. You will never have to miss your match.
Yo, bus driver, take me back to tell him now, please.
And we're back. Welcome back. We're still here sitting with Miss Sherika Ramsay Hunt, author of Sis, You've Got This. Sis, You've Got This. And You've Got This. We're doing good so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So then while you were working at the student services, it kind of changed your mind from teacher to social work as the guide. So then when you left, because as I was reading through just now, so you worked with social service in the education department.
Student support services.
Student support. separate? It's two separate entities, or
Student support services?
yes, it's still within the education department.
Yeah.
Okay, just for clarity purposes. I'm just
Education
making sure.
ministry.
That's the better term. Okay, and then you went to work for the TIAT ministry as well.
Yes.
What did you do with the TIAT within the TIAT?
I worked as a administrative worker. I worked at the economic licenses department at TIAT. I was the administrative worker at the Valley, so customer service. So where you submit your requests for economic licenses, business licenses, taxi licenses, bus, that
all of the things.
All of those things.
And then from there, after you had gotten your bachelor's, then you started to work at the Mental Health Foundation, or was it like just before? How did that transition go?
So after I worked Ministry of TIAT for a couple of years, and then I finished my bachelor's degree, and then about I would say 6 months after, I started working at the Mental Health Foundation.
And how was that transition?
It's different.
A different pace, or just a different work to be done?
The different work to be done. So you're coming from somewhere where you're dealing a lot in a ministry with economic matters, and then now you're going to more of a social sciences field. So there's an adjustment.
And has it, or to take a few steps back, so then while you were going to University of West Indies, and then you had different other persons studying social work with you with the different group projects, were there, issues that you found that corresponded within the different islands, or was it like similar but different, or like just a lot of similarities when talking with other students?
A lot of similarities. Yes, in some islands they have more services to be provided. And then in our island, I would say it's more procedural wise, it's more, or there's more specialists. So I would say here we have a lot more specialists.
Oh, we do?
Comparing to some of the other islands. And we have more entities, it seems like. It depends. It depends on the area.
More entities?
So let's say our waiting time for psychologists or social work services might be a little shorter than the other islands.
Okay.
So in that sense.
So while we're here thinking that it takes so long, or it takes us, like you can't find a specialist or a psychologist or whatever.
There's other islands where it takes longer.
Okay. So we are still privileged.
A bit.
We're not too bad.
Yeah, we're not too bad.
It could be
a lot of the other islands have a lot of information readily available to you.
Okay.
I think that's something that we lack here on the island. Easy access to information.
So you have the services, but then it's to know how to get to the services.
Yes.
And I think that's a relatable thing. Because a lot of us, when you find out, you're like, oh, there's all of this here. But I didn't know that there was all of this here for me to take advantage of.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can answer this, but then how do you think would be a way to have the public be more aware of of the services that are available?
I think it would be better. Well, seeing that government is let's say, the main stakeholder for everybody, if they could at least have a page where they indicate these are all the services that are available on the island, and you could do it by categories. And so if you're looking up something, it doesn't become like, how would I explain it? It's like you go on the government website. Of course, you get the government services, but then the private services, they're not so readily available to you.
You are true. Yeah. So you'd have to know to look for the Mental Health Foundation. But if you don't know that we have a Mental Health Foundation in itself, then that's something difficult for you to look for.
Yes.
Okay.
In that
All
sense.
right. Okay, so then back again. Moving from public sector now to private sector. Mental health is private sector. So then how was that in it now? So it's one thing to study something. It's something different to actually be in it. How was the transition from studying to being in, or did while you were doing your bachelor's, then you also had the
I had
clinical hours
placements,
to put
yeah.
in?
So I had a lot of clinical hours to put in. So I was already in the environment already.
Mhm.
So I already understood what was needed or what was required of me.
Mhm.
So the adjustment in that sense wasn't as difficult. But it's different when you're doing it for like 3 months and now you're doing it every day for
All
over
day,
a
every
year,
day.
you know, it's adjustment.
It's been a year already.
Yes, it's going on 2 years.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's a long time already. I feel like you just started.
I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just here doing the things. You just have a minute to soak that in as a friend. Just here doing the things.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now we're gonna give you her information. You should have been seeing it by now, where you can go find her socials so that people can follow you, know about what you're doing. And when we come back from the break we're going to take, we'll talk a bit more about Sis, You've Got This, and talk to her about her journey in writing this book. We'll be right back.
Yo! Be the first.
Welcome back. How was your drink? Mine is pretty good. Mine's not too bad. How's your drink? Okay. It's okay. You sure? Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to come back. What it's about? Sis, You've Got This. Listen, when she told me she wanted to write a book, I was like it caught me off guard. And then when she told me, okay, right, this is the process of writing the book. Okay, I have an editor for the book. Okay, I have a publisher for the book. Okay, the book coming out at this time. Every single time I was like, okay. I'm just sitting down here living life, and she's out here becoming a whole author. What inspired you? What made you want to write a book in the first place?
Um, well, writing a book was never something I thought I would be doing, first and foremost. Especially not poems, not affirmations, nothing of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
I was never into those things either. Okay. So, you know, it's something new for me. So I watch a lot of Instagram, and I think I was watching something with Tyler Brown, and she was just talking about herself and how she's at, and she was talking about, you know, sometimes we have thoughts that come to our mind and we brush it off, or ideas and we brush it off. And she was like, no, if a thought comes to your mind, you know, maybe it's something that you never thought you would be doing. Try. It you know, doesn't take anything from you to try. If you're successful, yes. If you're not, but you know, it didn't work out. So I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And then I think a day in the car I was driving, and I think I had just come off the phone with a friend of mine, and we were talking about something. And then I was just reflecting on the conversation. And then I was like, you know, if I had to tell another friend or give advice or encourage, like, this is what I would say. And I was like, you know, let me start writing it down. I started writing down just thoughts, and then I would list dates after. And then over time, I just started putting things together. And then I was like, yeah, okay, we're doing this. Initially, the thought wasn't to write a book. Initially, it would be just post to Instagram and go from there. And then I was like, no, let's put it in a book and see how it goes.
Okay.
So
So it went from just inspirational posts, let's say,
Mhm.
to wanting to put it all together. You remember what made you want to put it, like actually put it together and put it out to people besides your Instagram followers?
I think it's because not everybody have friends or like a strong or a big support system,
Mm-hmm.
and not everybody is open to telling their support system if they're going through something.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't want opinion of others because it's not always the type of encouragement that you really need
Yeah.
in that time. So for me, it was more about, okay, let me put it in words and somebody may pick it up and be like, today I'm having not a good day, or it's having been a good week. Let me read something that can uplift me in the moment. And also there's in the back of the book, so behind each poem there's space to write.
Yes, I saw.
So it's more of helping somebody to reflect back on their past, going through something, and maybe it'll be able to help somebody out.
Because now that you've gone through, you've read whatever you've read that hopefully uplifts you, and then there's, okay, I'll ask you a question, think about it, and now write down what, because I know, like, I went through it and I read one of the poems. I can't remember which one it's now, stuck out, and then I read the reflective piece and I was like, shoot, we're gonna make me think. And I have to, like, actually think about this and write it down. It's like, no, you have to do it so you can reflect on it. And you could go back on it afterwards and reread it, because that's the point of the reflection, is that you go back and read where you were at this point, so that you hopefully you're further along to come back and see, okay, I've made the steps to go further.
Yeah.
So that was, I don't know if I like it or hate it, but
I mean,
it's a process.
It's a
a necessary process.
It's a
So
process.
it's what must be done.
Yeah.
So then how long did it take you from the thought, I'm going to write a book, to actually having the book?
I think it took me, I would say, 6 months, 6 to 9 months to put all the poems together, and then it took a bit over a year after that. So the process took about, I think, almost 2 years from start to finish.
Okay.
Get it done.
And then how did it feel when you actually had the book, the physical book in your hand, in front of you?
Excited and anxious.
Because now it's official.
Yes, now it's official, and then all of this starts about, is it really going to do what I wanted to do? Is it really going to help persons in the community? Am I crazy for doing this? I think I put a lot of expectations on myself when I first got the book, and then I was like, no, I can't think that way.
So yeah.
For me, even if it's one person that it helps, that's fine. Then I impacted one person. Then I did something, and that's enough. Because it's not about how many books I sell. It was not about that. It was more about the impact that I could make on somebody's life. That was more important to me than anything else.
So for the people that want to get a copy of Sis You Got This, where could they go to get it?
Right now it's mostly on Amazon. So you can buy it on Amazon. You can look up the name. As long as you put Sis You've Got This and not Sis You Got This.
Oh, so not Sis You Got This. Sis You Got This specific. So be specific, guys.
Yeah, it pop up. And I'm also selling books right now.
And if people wanted to contact you for a copy of the book, how do you do that?
They can go via my Instagram page. So my Instagram page is Let Me Empower You.
Okay.
On Instagram.
Okay.
Or you can do letmeempoweryou@gmail.com, or contact me via WhatsApp 1-721-527-3919.
And those are all the things. And this is the book, and this is the author of the book, and you can contact her. And now you've done your first interview, and you've hopefully gotten to a greater audience, so hopefully more people know about the book and they can be inspired and Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you for allowing me to put you on the spot so you can get it done. And guys, that was Sit, Sip, and Chat. Until the next one,